Life was very good up until about October 2013, and then suddenly I was getting very out of breath. Briefly, after many tests, I was discovered to have a mitral valve leaking in my heart, and at the same time they discovered a small cancer in the right lung. I couldn't enjoy anything. I couldn't go out for walks with my grandchildren. Suddenly life had changed completely and utterly. Mr. Amrani and his team came in and repaired my heart. They were followed by Mr. Anakin's team, who removed the cancerous lobe, all done in one procedure. When they said they were going to do a dual operation, I thought they were going to fight over me, but they didn't. One followed the other, and I feel very well, thank you. What I'd like to sing to the Royal Brompton is this. Thank you for giving me my life back. I have 3 gorgeous grandchildren, 2 wonderful daughters, and a wife who really stood by me throughout. I'm very grateful for my life. Thank you so much.
Hello, Trouble. This is Jamie. I saw you downstairs. I saw you not downstairs. You're not Trouble. There you are. Hi, I'm Jamie.
Yeah, we know who you are.
Today I have been able to walk around the hospital, given a full tour. First of all, we went to the cystic fibrosis ward to meet 3 people there who are suffering from the illness. Got to hear their stories, got to hear what their life is like there. And then we wandered around the outside of the hospital and went to the paediatrics clinic, general paediatrics, and went to go and see some amazing kids there.
Square eyes. Yeah, no, that's fine.
And they're, so smiley and so happy, and the families are there. But I understand how difficult it must be for those families to have their loved ones and their kids in that position. There's just so much love and support in a building like that and in a place like that I think that needs to be recognised, and I think that needs to be nurtured.
You're sitting there and your life can take 2 paths, one way or another. I remember sitting there watching the monitors, and all I could see by his name, all the other babies were there with their heartbeats, and I can just remember seeing a flat line by his name. They really did fear the worst. They didn't know how long they could keep reviving him. And I said as long as he kept fighting, that they would carry on fighting with him.
Joshua was one of the smallest baby we had to operate for this coarctation repair, and it was really challenging, and we had to convince a lot of people that the surgery was doable.
They said they had no odds, so don't ask. But they had no choice. It was a matter of he wouldn't survive if they didn't do it. How do you say goodbye to your baby when you don't know if they're not going to bring him back?
We still managed to do the surgery, and he's managed to survive, and after 1 more operation he's managed now to grow very healthy.
Joshua's just had his first birthday, and they've done a heart scan on him, and thanks to Mr. Gers and the team, he no longer has any problems with his heart. It's exciting to think about what the future will hold for him. He's a very special boy, and the scars will heal in time. The most difficult thing I think as parents is when you've got such a sick child, you feel very, very helpless. The only thing that really kept us going was knowing that he was in one of the best heart hospitals in the whole world, with doctors and nurses and surgeons that really were first class.
Yeah, I think really it's in one word, it gives you hope. Just introducing you to the area, I think it's important to understand that in a traditional cardiac surgical operation, the surgeon can actually see what he's doing. Now, an interventional cardiologist, like myself, would perform a procedure through thin tubes known as catheters, which are fed into the heart, and because the chest isn't open, we have to rely totally on imaging equipment in what we call a cardiac catheter laboratory. Now, over time, cardiac surgeons have adopted more and more minimal access procedures, so-called keyhole operations through incisions. At the same time, cardiologists have extended hugely what they can achieve through catheters, and in a sense, the worlds of the cardiac surgeon and the interventional cardiologist are moving closer and closer together. So ideally, as these two specialties move together, the best way to offer optimal patient care is to have a so-called hybrid operating theatre, which has the strengths of being a full operating theatre, but also a properly kitted out, bespoke imaging unit as we would see in a cardiac catheter lab.